Arirang Radio.
Special Issue Task Force, how can I help you? And back joining us in the studio for Special Issue Task Force is Haeyoung. Haeyoung, hello to you.
Hello, SJ. You don't know poet Kim So-wol?
No.
He wrote 진달래꽃.
Oh, it's a he.
나보기가 역겨워 가실 때에는.
What?
You know that song, right?
No.
That
Sing
lyrics
it.
came from
Sing it from the
his
beginning.
poem,
Sing it. I don't know. Sing it from the beginning.
나보기가 역겨워 가실 때는 Maya song.
Maya, yes, I know
Yeah.
that, but Maya doesn't sing that way.
나보기가 역겨워.
Can you play this song just briefly? I have no idea what she's trying to sing here. Let's get the
역겨워 가실 때는 말없이 고이 보내드리오리다.
Duriorida.
가실 때에는 아니 눈물 흘리오리다.
Are you Kyopo?
Oh, this is not part of the poem, I think.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
really? So
yeah,
you know all
but,
this.
Yeah, the song is motivated from that poem.
You know,
진달래꽃.
it was
This is your first time?
No, it was
hearing
painful
about it?
hearing you speak like a Kyopo, like a Korean American.
No, I'm trying to be sounded like a rocker.
No, you sound like a Kyopo. You sound like how I would sound.
나보기가 역겨워 가실 때에는 말없이 고이 보내드리오리다. Hey yo, rock spirit. Rock spirit.
라온이 엄마.
Let's go clubbing after the show.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm tearing up right now.
Are you down? Are you down?
No, I'm
Let's
not.
go clubbing together.
I am not
after
going
the
to.
show.
I'm going nowhere near
Or
a club with
노래방,
you.
singing room.
No.
How about that?
No. Actually, maybe next
I will
time.
allow you to sing 소주 한 잔.
Okay.
Then you have to allow me to sing the song
진달래꽃?
진달래꽃.
Not the 진달래꽃.
진달래꽃.
Okay. I don't know how we're going to transition into our next topic because this is some serious stuff here. But, you know,
I
Seong,
tried to tone down, you know.
why'd you have to do this?
I could go further, but
no,
I tried
we're
to tone
not.
down.
We're going to go to the beautiful islands of Jeju. However, while we do know Jeju Island as a beautiful, beautiful island, there is some of the most painful historical tragedies that took place there as well. President Lee Jae-myung making a highly symbolic visit to the island, again tied to what the country's one of the most painful historical tragedies. Start us off here.
Sure. And what makes this story particularly powerful is that it's not just about politics. It's about how a nation remembers past violence and how it seeks justice even decades later. On this past Sunday, President Lee Jae-myung visited Jeju Island ahead of the annual April 3rd memorial, and he paid tribute at the Jeju April 3rd Peace Park and met with victims' families there. And during the visit, he made a strong policy statement. He pledged to push for legislation that would eliminate statutes of limitations for state violence crimes, both criminal and civil. And it's also worth noting that a similar bill had already been passed by the National Assembly in December 2024, led by the Democratic Party, but it was ultimately scrapped after a veto was exercised by then acting President Choi Sang-mo.
The April 3rd massacre is one of the most. I don't know. We're not going to get into the history of this too much, but again, it's not just a one-day thing. But essentially, that means that perpetrators could be held accountable no matter how much time has passed. We're talking about no statute of limitation.
That's right. He even emphasized that responsibility should remain as long as the perpetrator is alive, and in several cases extend within the limits of inherited assets. President Lee Jae-myung also addressed the issue of state honors awarded to perpetrators, referring to figures like Lee Geun-an, a former police officer accused of torture. He was known as a notorious torturer or even torture specialist, he was even called. And regarding his case, President Lee said stripping such honors is long overdue, but absolutely necessary. Meanwhile, President Lee Jae-myung also expressed regret that he could not attend the official April 3rd memorial ceremony in person this year. He said he had hoped to be there on the exact date, but was unable to do so due to urgent diplomatic commitments, including an upcoming state visit by French President Emmanuel Macron.
So again, the Jeju, I mean, depending on who you talk to, there's different names for this. Sometimes it's called the Jeju April 3rd incident. Some people call it the
Jeju
April 3rd massacre. I think uprising is the wrong terminology, but massacre is another term that's used. But sometimes it's compared to events like the Gwangju democratization movement, but it's less familiar to our international audience.
Violent events that took place between 1948 and the early 1950s. And during this period, tens of thousands of civilians on Jeju Island were killed, many by state forces amid suppression of an uprising and broader ideological conflict in the early Cold War era. For decades, this history was silenced and politically sensitive. It's only in recent years that South Korea has begun openly investigating, apologizing, and compensating victims. So this is part of a larger effort to confront past state violence, and President Lee even compared his approach to how Nazi war crimes were prosecuted, emphasizing permanent accountability. And President Lee described the April 3rd incident as the starting point of large-scale state violence and said Jeju has been a place that has endured the longest suffering. And like you mentioned, he went on to draw connections to other major historic events, including what happened in Gwangju and more recent political crises, saying that preventing such tragedies from ever happening again requires a very concrete solution. He also promised concrete follow-up measures like extending compensation and reporting periods for victims' families, building a national archive, and creating legal grounds to revoke honors granted during the suppression. And this really tells us something about Korea today. There is a growing consensus that historical justice is not time-bound, but it's ongoing.
That's right. And, the exact figures are still unknown, or how many people were killed. Again, it's even though we say April 3rd.
Children included.
Children
yes.
included, women included. Again, falsely being accused as a communist because they weren't in favor of what the then government was doing.
Right.
And so it was over a multi-year period, but we just specifically used the April 3rd because I believe that was the day that was like the biggest casualties. But what's interesting is that this issue also gaining attention globally through literature, I believe. This is more in light after a few years ago. Has it been a few years now with Hangang?
Nobel Prize?
Yeah. Was it 2 years? It was 2 years ago.
Yes.
So, but we're talking about Hangang, right?
Right. South Korean author Hangang recently won the National Book Critics Circle Award in the U.S. for her novel We Do Not Part, or 작별하지 않는다 in Korean, which is based on the Jeju April 3rd tragedy. The National Book Critics Circle is a major literary award, one of the most prestigious literary institutions in the United States, and this marks the first time a Korean novel has won in the fiction category. And the book explores the trauma and memory through the perspectives of 3 different women, and the judges praised it for its haunting, dreamlike portrayal of historical pain.
I remember when Hangang was interviewed after her Nobel Prize in Literature, they were asking what book from her does she recommend? And she said, I hope everyone reads We Do Not Part. That is one novel
because
from her.
Because it's less known.
Exactly.
Right?
And so she pointed that out. But again, there was a huge surge in demand for her novels, her books selling out instantly, online stores not keeping up with the demand. But Is something similar happening again after this award, though?
Yes, sales have surged dramatically following the award announcement, and according to the publisher, online sales of the book jumped 11.5 times on Kyobo Bookstore in just 3 days compared to the previous period. On another major platform, Aladdin, sales surged even more dramatically, increasing by 17.8 times over the same period. So we're seeing something quite powerful, a historical tragedy, once suppressed, now being revisited not only in Korea but also globally through literature. So this is not just about revisiting the past but reshaping how it's remembered.
That's right. And again, this is a book that has been, I believe, translated into English.
Right.
And for any of our listeners out there interested in finding out more about the tragedy through this novel, you can check it out.
And I also heard it's very well translated, so I highly recommend
She works with some of the best translators, so that's for sure. We'll go into other major issues at hand, but first, let's take a listen to a song from IU with 이름에게, Dear Name.
이름 불러도 대답을 하지 않아
Hey. Stop looking at the clock. We still got more work at the Culture Inc.
Seong was giving me a list of songs that she wants to sing if she ever goes to 노래방, and it's just I don't think I ever want to go with her ever.
Why not? So tiny tears. 잔인한
Wait, why is she
and
Kyopo? Why is
kiss
she turn?
여자이니까 말을 하지 그랬어.
That is.
내가
She was saying that was the girl
말을
equivalent
하지, 내가
of 고해.
싫어졌다고.
That's
Yeah, or 버즈.
어찌합니까? 어떡해?
Are you sick? I think you're sick. You okay?
아직 제가 더. It is going to be the worst 노래방 session ever. The two of us.
You and I should go.
We should. I think we cannot be in the same room together.
To torture people.
It would
How
be a
about
torture.
that?
It will be a torture.
피디님, you should join.
We
You should definitely join.
I don't ever see him singing. Do you have a favorite song that you ever? I don't ever see him sing.
Oh, he says he's a good singer.
Really?
Ooh.
고해?
What's your-
나훈아?
No, maybe BTS.
What is this? Oh, okay.
All right.
With this, we're gonna go into politics now. We gotta talk politics because we got about 2 months to go, a little more than 2 months to go. We got Korea's local elections. The political landscape already heating up because there's major areas to look at with the local elections. Let's get more on this.
If I had to sum it up in one sentence, momentum on one side and crisis on the other, I can say. We just have 2 months to go until Korea's nationwide local elections on June 3rd. The political landscape is becoming increasingly dramatic. President Lee Jae-myung continues to enjoy strong approval ratings, while the main conservative party is struggling with internal division and declining support. And that contrast is shaping the entire election. So this election is more than just local politics. Local elections are often seen as a midterm test of national power, and this time all eyes are on a few key battlegrounds: Seoul, the nation's political and economic center, the greater Seoul metropolitan area, where swing voters play a crucial role, and perhaps most surprisingly, Daegu, long considered the heart of conservative politics.
Daegu is gonna be really, really interesting. It's very interesting. Okay, let's start with the capital, Seoul. Obviously, one of the most important regions when it comes to elections. We're talking about Seoul mayoral race.
Right.
This is often called the flower of local elections.
Yes, both parties are holding heated primaries right now. On the liberal side, multiple candidates, including lawmakers Park Joo-min or Jeon Yeon-hee, are competing fiercely, and even within the same party, tensions are rising. On the conservative side, the incumbent mayor Oh Se-hoon is facing strong challenges from within his own party. Debates among them have just begun this evening. PPP held its first vision debate on this Tuesday to select its candidate for the Seoul mayoral race in the upcoming June 3rd local elections. Seoul Mayor Oh Se-hoon, first-term lawmaker Park Soo-min representing Gangnam District B or Gangnam-ul, and former lawmaker Yoon Hee-suk, who previously led the party's innovation committee, clashed over their policy visions for the city, and key issues included the economy and real estate, both of which are central to Seoul's future. Sounds intense already, but what's interesting is that Seoul is not the most unpredictable place this time. That title goes to Daegu again.
Which is weird because there's a saying, this goes, anybody could run conservative in
right.
Daegu and you will win. I mean, it's just, I mean, you can't get any more of a conservative stronghold. You could have, I wouldn't be eligible. Seon could be running as a conservative in Daegu, and she would be able to win normally. Now, however, things are up in the air right now because especially of all the things that happened with the main opposition People Power Party, And so we don't know what's going to happen in Daegu. Let's talk about Daegu.
Sure. That's what makes it so fascinating. Daegu has long been known as the heart of conservative politics in Korea, like I mentioned earlier. In fact, since Korea introduced nationwide local elections in 1995, not a single liberal candidate has ever won the mayoral race there. For decades, it was almost taken for granted, like you said. Like if you run as a conservative in Daegu, you win. But this time, that assumption is being challenged. Recently, something unusual happened. The ruling Conservative Party cut off or eliminated its top polling candidates, Ju Ho-young and Lee Jin-suk, during the nomination process, and this triggered backlash among supporters and reignited a long-standing criticism that the party treats Daegu as a guaranteed vote bank rather than a region that needs real policy attention.
Yeah, I mean, the nomination was very controversial in the first place, especially with Lee Jin-suk.
Right.
I don't know if you guys remember us talking about this during the Korea Now days. We're not going to really get into this, but controversial figure. So voters are starting to feel taken for granted, even in Daegu.
Kim Boo-kyum officially announced he openly criticized the Conservative Party, saying Daegu citizens have been treated like vote-giving machines, and he made a striking appeal, saying for the sake of true conservatism, Daegu must abandon the current Conservative Party, which is People Power Party.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, the thing that really changed was Hong Jun-pyo, right? I mean, you're looking at Hong Jun-pyo, who was the Daegu mayor, and basically left Daegu without making major changes is what the Daegu people are saying, and left for Seoul. And so they feel very betrayed, and so they don't like the idea of having like anybody come in just because we recognize the name and just because you're a Conservative Party member that you run for the mayoral job. So it's I mean, I would say it's still very tough for the Liberal Party to win in Daegu, but let's just put it this way. It's going to be a lot closer than it normally is.
Right.
But again, a powerful statement, especially in the conservative stronghold in Daegu, long time conservative stronghold, and comes at a time when Conservative Party already facing significant internal turmoil, particularly, of course, with the martial law declaration by former President Yoon Suk-yeol, of course, the impeachment that followed, and the party now in a chaos right now. For many voters, I mean, this message may resonate even more strongly.
Yes, he's not just running as a liberal candidate. He's positioning himself as someone who can fix conservatism by challenging it. Now, here's why this matters. If Kim Boo-kyum wins, he would become the first liberal mayor in Daegu's history, and that would be more than a local victory. It would signal maybe not a complete collapse, but at least a new wave or change of regional political loyalty and a hope of shifting away from Korea's long-standing regionalism in voting. And Kim's campaign focuses on two key themes. First, regional decline, and second, he put much emphasis on political accountability, and he argues that real change can only happen if voters stop giving automatic support to just one party.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these, I was listening to some of the interviews that was coming out from the citizens of Daegu, and basically saying, I mean, we need change. There hasn't been a change in this city. So still, no matter the current mood, may not be so easy for Daegu to turn away from the Conservative Party. Though again, it's going to be really tough to flip. It really is. It's like saying like Texas is going to flip to the Democratic Party. You know, it's kind of like that. But again, you could also say the same thing with Gwangju or the Jeolla region being like basically the most liberal stronghold you could think of. There you could also argue that if anybody runs the Liberal Party from there, you're going to get nominated. So you're seeing these polarizing effects, and the same pattern that we're seeing regardless of public sentiment. When voters step into the booth, they end up choosing the candidate representing whatever liberal or conservative.
That's right.
No, don't ask, just vote is what these regions go. But How are the voters in Daegu reacting right now, though?
We are witnessing different reactions now. Some lifelong conservative voters are reportedly saying, oh, this time we might support Kim Bugyeom, not necessarily because they've changed the ideology, but because they want change in results. So now the biggest question is in this election is, will Daegu make a different choice this time? Can a city that has voted the same way for decades suddenly make a different choice, or will tradition hold?
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
especially among like older generation.
yeah, I mean,
right?
if you look at it, during the last presidential election, despite what happened with PPP and
Right.
former President Yoon, Daegu overwhelmingly chose the PPP candidate over now President.
Won-soo,
Yeah, I mean,
right.
over Lee Jae-myung, but. You're looking at the PPP, looking at the approval rating in the 20% range right now. I mean, it's that party's in a huge turmoil, so you don't know what's going to happen.
But the public sentiment and the actual result can
very
be a little
different.
bit different,
Yeah.
so we'll have to keep a close eye on
Definitely,
that.
definitely. Well, speaking of election, one of the more popular election songs out there, this is Produce 101 with Pick Me.
Okay, boys and girls. 우리는 꿈을 꾸는 소녀들 너와 나 꿈을 나누는 순간 달콤한 너를 향한 shining light 너만의 난
Edward over in Jeju. It's wild to me how the country seems split right down the middle during the last election. It was like left on the left side of the country, right on the right side. Unreal. Well, it was always like that. It's been always like that. Actually, you know what? Not always. Not always. Not getting into history. The interesting thing is like Busan, Gyeongnam area used to be a liberal stronghold back in the days, but a certain event completely changed that. Move on to another issue that's directly affecting everyday life in Korea. We're seeing something quite unusual. Panic buying of government-issued trash bags. Remember, we have to pay for trash bags when you want to throw out your trash. Rising prices for food packaging, even concerns of agricultural costs going up. This even talks about diapers. Are we going to be able to get diapers? My wife is saying, there's going to be shortages of diaper?
Oh no.
That's going to be terrible.
It's one of the worst.
It's the worst.
news.
We got kids that still use diapers right
Yes.
now. And all of this seems to be linked to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Sam, let's talk about this.
Sure. It really shows how interconnected today's global economy is. The conflict in the Middle East has pushed up international oil prices, and that's had a ripple effect across the petrochemical products, including naphtha, which is a key raw material used to make plastics. And since Korea's standardized trash bags, or 종량제 봉투 we call it, are made from plastic, concerns over supply disruptions quickly spread. What's interesting is that this didn't just stay at the industrial level. It translated almost immediately into consumer behavior. People began stockpiling trash bags, worried they might run out or become more expensive.
My wife is telling me that in places like Paju and certain areas, they rent out or they have limits on how much you could buy, just one sheet per person.
Right.
And so next thing you know, I'm down at the convenience store, the first floor of my apartment, talk to the owner lady because we're cool.
Oh.
I was like, you got any trash bags? She goes, well, we just got it in a box last night. Give me 30. We bought 30 trash bags. And next thing you know, it's not real big problems. But anyways, we're seeing the behavior in real numbers. Statistically, sales surging quite dramatically in recent days because of people like me buying off all the trash bags.
Right. The spike has been quite striking. At the major retailers, sales of trash bags have increased by nearly 3 to 4 times compared to last year because of people like SJ. And convenience stores saw even sharper increases, in some cases over 300% in just a few days. We are also seeing similar patterns with related products. Food waste bags, plastic storage bags, and packaging materials are all seeing strong demand. In some stores, people are even lining up right when they open, what Koreans call open run shopping, just to secure these items. So while the supply itself hasn't necessarily collapsed, the perception of shortage is clearly driving behavior.
So shortly after I buy 30 trash bags, we find out the government saying there is no real shortage.
Right.
They've been trying to reassure the public.
Yes, the government has emphasized repeatedly that overall supply is sufficient. There are enough stockpiles and production capacity is still intact. They've also warned that some of the panic is being fueled by misinformation spreading online and have even called for strict action against false or exaggerated claims. At the same time, officials did acknowledge that localized shortages could happen depending on the region, since supply systems differ by municipality.
Soa's tuning in, says, I could only
hi,
get
Soa.
2 trash bags yesterday.
Oh.
Now, this is where it gets funny, right? Lend me some of your 30 bags. Now, tell me why this message is... It's wrong.
But you're living in Gyeonggi-do province, right?
And Anyang?
she's living in Seoul, so she can't
You can't use my
yours.
bag.
Anyways.
It's all
Too
depending
bad,
on where you
Soa.
live. You should know that. K-Culture Dive
Host.
You should know that you can't use my bag.
Ink versus dive.
That's right. That's right. So beyond the reassurance, what kind of measures are also being considered to prevent this from getting worse?
Well, one key response is actually quite interesting. The government is looking to increase the use of recycled materials in trash bag production. Currently, recycled plastic makes up about 10 to 30% of these bags, but there are plans to push that ratio higher, possibly even making it mandatory. The idea is to reduce reliance on newly produced petrochemical materials like naphtha, but there's a challenge. Recycled materials can sometimes be lower in quality, of course, which
Yeah.
raises concerns about durability and potential complaints from users. So while the solution is promising, it's not without complications.
Oh my goodness. Hoa said, I forgot you live in the outskirts. She just
Oh my
outed
God!
she outed all the people of Gyeonggi-do province as
So,
people of the outskirts. That is a very
You're
regionalism
living
comment.
in suburban. It's
I want you to
rich
apologize.
people live in suburban.
I want you to
area.
apologize because our governor said there is no shortage in Gyeonggi-do. You're going to be okay. You're going to be
We
good.
should all move to Gyeonggi-do.
Yes, because PDN goes, we have a lot in our neighborhood because he is also part of Gyeonggi-do.
Oh, cool.
The outskirts of Gyeonggi-do.
Go Gyeonggi-do.
Oh, Soa, regional, that is, you gotta do an apology video because you outed all the people of Gyeonggi-do.
And upload it on TikTok.
I don't have TikTok. You have to, no TikTok. But no, seriously, now this is going to like diapers and everything and the food prices. All of this is all linked together. And we have no idea how this is going to bounce back because we don't know when the war is going to end.
Right.
And there's no escape plan. But obviously, someone doesn't have a plan of how this is
so
going to
many
end.
gray areas.
So that's that. Seyoung, I have two words.
What?
You're fired.
Oh no!
We got the Kapyeon,
Oh no!
and we
You
gotta make
serious?
changes. And sometimes you read messages that you're not supposed to read.
I did my best. Best. I rapped. I
No.
sang. I
No.
danced.
I thought-
while delivering the news.
We had second thoughts until you started singing, and I said maybe she should not be doing. 안 돼요.
안 돼요. 나보기가 역겨워 싫대. 말없이 고이 보내드리오는. I really enjoyed being on the culture.
K Culture Dive name. K Culture Dive.
Culture Inc., the Special Issue Task Force.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, SJ, and our listeners. But can I at least talk to HR?
There is no
know.
HR.
Can I have a chance
we
to
don't have
speak
an
with HR?
No, this is we were thinking about maybe we had second thoughts, but we're scrapping this segment. Seyoung is just the worst.
말없이 고이 보내주세요.
All she does is sing terribly.
Just let me go.
All she does is
let me go.
and calls our show the K Culture Dive. So
No, I'll cherish
Seyoung,
all the good memories.
fired.
But can I still keep my jersey?
yes, you
Yes.
can. Yes,
Thank you as a
can.
souvenir.
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right.
So
Thank you.
I don't know what's going to happen to you, but
guys.
we're going to scrap this
Can I
segment.
cry?
No, you don't. We're out of time. We're out of time.
Can I cry
Seyoung,
after the show?
bye bye. Have a good one. Hope.
Have a good life, SJ.
Have a good life too. Have a good life. Learn to sing, and maybe we'll see you sometimes in the building. We do have the same building.
Bye bye.
Sending her out of the studio. This is Hayes featuring Nafla with Mokurum Dark Clouds.